Let me teach you how to achieve this turtleneck free blouse with a drawstring and a puffy sleeve. If this looks like what you're interested in, then you are welcome to Sew With Anita, where I share tips that no one talks about that will elevate your sewing skills from a basic to a professional. So if you're just joining us for the first time, you're welcome. Hit on the like and subscribe button so you can get notified whenever I drop videos like this. To my returning subscribers, I love you guys so much, and without further ado, let's dive into this tutorial. For this blouse, I made use of 2 yards of this fabric because my client is on the bigger side. So if you're on the smaller size, you can make use of 1.5 yards of your fabric. So just place it on a fold first of all, and place it on a fold again. So I've gone ahead to fold this into 4, and for you to know your maximum amount of material needed, it's going to be your hip measurement divided by 4 plus 5 inches. So mine was too much, so I went ahead to adjust it a little, just like you see me to do. So just make it, I placed it on a fold first of all. I'm trying to adjust it so that it can be close to my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 5 inches. After marking that, I went ahead to pin it down like that so that it does not move ahead. So go ahead and fold yours like this, and ensure that you are utilizing this fabric because this extra side I have here, I'll be making use of it again. So from the side on a fold, I went ahead to measure out my starting line first of all. So ensure that the part you are measuring from is from the side on a fold. So I just marked out a starting line. I'm so sorry guys that this chalk wasn't that visible, so just try as much as possible to follow what I'm saying and you're going to get it right. So I'm going to be marking out my shoulder to shoulder measurement divided by 2, and I'm going to come down by 1/2 inch from that point like that. Then I'm going to take my neck round measurement. For turtleneck, we're making use of 2.5 inches by 2.5 inches. So I'm just going to create a curve there like that to connect the points. You can make use of your curved rule if you want. Then from that point we came down by 1/2 inch. I'm going to connect it to my neck width like that to form my shoulder slope. So just go ahead and connect it just like you see me do with your ruler if you want. Then from the point we came down, we're going to take our shoulder to shoulder measurement divided by 2 again and mark it out, and then connect it with our ruler like that. Then horizontally, I'm going to be taking my bust round measurement divided by 4, and I'm going to mark it out like that. And then I'm going to add an extra 3 inches for ease because this is a very free top, like more like a boo-boo top. And then I'm going to use my ruler to connect that point down to that side. So I'm trying to get my armhole curve. So I'm just going to measure out what I have from that point down, and I'm going to get the center. So I'll divide it by 2 and mark out the center. Then from there, I'll come in by 1/2 inch like that, and then I'm going to use my curved rule to connect this. Please pardon me for not using the right instrument because this material is so silk and it shakes a lot. So from my starting point, I'm going to take my shoulder to waist measurement, and I'm going to mark it out just like you see me do. And then I'm going to take my horizontal measurement, which is my waist measurement divided by 4, and I'm going to mark out the point. And then I'm going to add 3 inches allowance for ease, just like I did for the bust side. Then I'm going to use my curved rule to connect the point so that it can have a little bit of shaping like that. Then from that waist point, I'm going to take my hip vertical measurement, which is 9 inches for my case because my client's hip is about 45 inches. If yours is around 30 to 38, you can make use of 8 inches, but anything higher than that, make use of 9 inches. Then we're going to mark it out, and still from that point, we're going to take 19 inches and we're going to mark it out too. And then I'm going to take my horizontal measurement on the hip line, which is my hip round measurement divided by 4, and I'm going to mark it out. Then I'll take my 3 inches ease allowance, sewing and ease allowance. Then I'm going to take the same thing I have there on the 19 inches that we marked. So just go ahead and mark the same thing there, and then we're going to connect it with our curved rule to form that shaping. So I'm going to just connect that line to form a straight line for the hem of my dress, for the length of this blouse. Then for my back neckline, I'll just come down by 1 inch for the neck depth, and I'm going to connect it like that. So I just hope you can see it clearly. Then I'm going to cut it out. Please take note of the way I am cutting the back armhole first of all. I'm cutting cutting out the back piece first of all, so please take note of that. So do you see the way the armhole is looking like? I'll cut out the shoulder slope and then only the back neckline first of all. So take note of all of this, and I'm going to separate it, and I'll bring out only one fabric. So I'll be using this to cut out my front piece. So before I start cutting, I'm just going to measure out what I have for the draw strip. So for that draw strip line, I'm going to be taking on the waist point, the waist line that we marked. I'll be taking my nipple to nipple measurement. So just measure it to ensure that you are marking it on your waistline. So on the waistline that we have, our shoulder to waistline, I'm going to be taking my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2, which is 4 in my own case. So I've gone ahead to mark it. That is where my draw strip is going to start from. So I'm going to mark the same thing downwards, and I'm going to connect it to form a straight line. So this is where I'll be working on to form the draw strip. So I'm going to cut out the armhole like that, and I'm going to cut out the front neckline too. So I'm just going to open this up, and I'll be attaching my draw strip to that point. So now I'm going to measure out what I have from that point down to the length of this blouse, and I'm going to use that to cut out the casing for my draw strip. So I'll be adding like extra 1 inch to this for folding at both ends. Then for the width is going, for the wideness is going to be about 2.5 inches. So I made use of 2 inches for mine, but make use of 2.5 inches so that it can be easier for you to form your casing. Then after cutting it out, I'm just going to place it on it. So I'm going to go ahead and iron this on a fold so that I can get the center, and I'm going to be sewing the center to this. So I'm going to fold the edge of this strap first of all before sewing it for a neat finishing, and also I'll fold the edge of the blouse too with 1 inch too, so that it can have a neat finishing. So I've gone ahead to fold it first of all, and I've folded the edge of this. I also ironed it so that it can be easy for us to get the midpoint of this. So I'm going to just position it, the midpoint, on the line that we have, and give it a straight stitch just like you see me do. At this point, you have to be very careful and take your time so that you don't make a mistake, and ensure that you are sewing on the line. So after sewing it down, I've gone ahead to cut out my rope. So I got a 1 inch strap, and make sure that it's longer than the length of this draw strip. Then we're going to just stitch down this rope inside of it. We're going to open it up like that, and then just fold it a little. So do you see? And then we're going to give it a straight stitch. So at this point, we're trying to secure it first of all, the end. So after securing that point, drag it a little to ensure that it does not pull out. Then we're going to then form our casing. So just fold it a little and push the rope inside. Ensure you are not sewing on the rope. Just push it inside and give it a straight stitch like that. So if you just follow exactly what I am doing, you are going to get it right. And please ensure you are not stitching on the rope. At some point, you can even drag it so that you know that there is still free movement and you did not stitch on the rope before it's too late. So after we're done folding this, we're going to do the same thing for the other side too, and then that is it for the strap. And then we're going to get a piece of fabric like this. We're just going to place it on a fold. This is to form a shield for the back. So this is my back piece. I'll be placing it on a fold too at the wrong side. So we're going to now place it on the fabric like that. Ensure that you overlap it well and the ends are meeting just like that. Let the armhole be meeting the fly that you have there. And then from your neck depth, ensure that you have more than 5 inches for it. So mine, these 3 inches I took was too short. I ended up increasing it. So ensure that you have about 7 inches safe if possible. So we're just going to pin it down, and we're going to trim out what we have there. So just trim out exactly what you have on that point like that. And then we're going to open this up. So after opening it up, I'm just going to open up a line like a V-neck there. So make sure that the depth is about 5 inches. This 3 inches I took was way too small. I ended up increasing it later. So let the depth be about 5 inches. That is why your fly should be about 7 inches long. So we're opening it for the fly and the main fabric too. They are the same length. If you're using 5 inches, use 5 inches for the fly too. Then we're just going to remove our pin, and we're going to open this up. The essence of this is so that it can be able to pass through the head because there is no zip for this dress. So this is on the right side. Then the fly, we're going to place it right side facing each other. So take note of that. It's going to be right side facing each other, and we're going to just stitch down only the V side with half of an inch. So this is what I have after stitching it down like that. I just went ahead to top stitch that side so that it can be firm. So this is what it is looking like. And then for this side, I went ahead to, you can fold yours so that it doesn't bring out hair, but mine was already seamed, so I didn't need to fold it because it won't bring out hair. Then we're going to cut out the sleeve for this top. So I just have my remaining fabric here. I'm trimming off the excess. Then I'm going to place it on a fold like this, and I'm going to measure it to check if it's enough for what I want. So the wideness too should be like double of your sleeve round measurement. So I'm going to place on a fold again because I'll be cutting my two sleeves together, and I'm going to ensure that the length is what I want, which is about 25 inches for the length. So the reason why the wideness of this sleeve is going to be double of your sleeve round measurement is because this is a puff sleeve, so it has to be full. My material wasn't even enough, so I just had to make use of what I had there. So I've gone ahead to mark out my sleeve length, which is 25 inches, and I'm going to just cut it out like that. So then after cutting it out, we're going to notch one point for both of the sleeves, and that point is going to be where we're going to gather out for the armhole side. Then the lower part, we're going to fold it with 1 inch, and we're going to add our elastic through that casing. So this is what I have. I've gone ahead to gather out the top side like that. I'll be attaching this gathered part to the sleeve. I'm going to mark the notch part on the center of my armhole on the fabric, and I'll just stitch it. So I've gone ahead to also form my casing for it. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to pass my elastic through it. The wideness of your elastic is your sleeve round measurement. So after doing that, I'll get my front piece and my back piece and place them right side facing each other and stitch it the shoulder side with half of an inch like that. After stitching it down, I've gone ahead to join my sleeve to the armhole, and then I'm going to just give it a straight stitch to connect it down. And this is the end of this tutorial, but I'm going to be teaching you a little secret so that these gathers can actually sit very well on the lap naturally. So before I go into that, this is what the draw strip looks like, and then I added a belt to the waist side. So to attach the belt so it can sit properly on the waist, just look at where I marked my waistline, my initial waist measurement. So come up by 2 inches like that, then sew down that waist. You can also come in by 1 inch from the horizontal side of your initial waist measurement. I just hope you understand, so that it can lap very well on your body and give it that fit. So I'll be using this side to explain how I was able to achieve a perfect sitting for this, so that it can rest very well on the butt. So I'll measure my shoulder to waist measurement. Then from that point, I'll then measure my waist to hip measurement. Then I'm going to take note of the points there, and then I'm going to run a gathering stitch on it to meet the waistline. So after we're done sewing it to meet the waistline, we're going to gather it, and we're going to remeasure it to ensure that it meets the point that's our hip line, the full length, that the new full length we want. So if it doesn't meet it, we're going to regather it down, and then once it gets to that point, we're going to pin it firmly and then sew it down. So after doing that, we can go ahead to fix our turtleneck band. So on my pattern paper, I'm going to just measure as what I have from the one edge to another, and whatever measurement I have there, I'll just divide it into two so that I can get the midpoint of this. So I'm going to then mark it on one side. So we just want to get the center of this pattern paper we are using, and then we're going to mark out our starting line for this. So after doing that, still take note of that midpoint that I marked out, and then we're going to label those out. One side will be for the front and the other side will be for the back. So I just labeled it with the alphabet F and B, and then I'm going to get out my shirt and I'll be measuring out. I will place it at the center and I'll measure out the front neckline like this. So take note of the way I place it. Allow the two shoulders to meet, then measure out your front neckline. I'll measure it from the center of that pattern paper and mark it out like that. Then I'll come up by half of an inch like that, and then I'll use my curved rule to connect the point just like you see me do. Then from that point I'm going to come up by 1.5 inches because the size of my neck band is going to be 1.5 inch. Then I'll just connect the points. Take note, I'm not making it straight, I'm making it slanted like this so that it can lap very well on the body. So just take note of this. Then for the back, I'm going to place my neck again at the center like that, and then I'll take the back neckline. So just take note of the way I am doing it. The two shoulders will meet, then I'll measure out what I have for the back, and then I'll mark out what I have there on the center point of this pattern paper, and I'll come up by about 1/4 of an inch. So it's going to be half of what you did in front. Come up by 1/4 of an inch, and then I'm going to connect the point just like that. So just take note of what I am doing, and then I'm going to measure out the size of my band, which is 1.5 inches, and I'll connect it in a slanted way, not a straight line. So look at what I'm doing, and from that point I'll just use my curved ruler to connect it like that. After doing that, I'm just going to cut this out, but please ensure that you label it appropriately. So the arrow going up will show you that this is the side that will be at the top. Then I measured out the part that will be for the front and the back, and then I went ahead to cut it out like that. So this is what I have right here. I'm going to use this fabric to cut out this piece. So I'm going to place my fabric on a fold like this, and then I'm going to place it on a fold again because I'll be cutting two pieces of this, one for my lining and one for the main fabric. Please take note of the way I am placing the band. Ensure that side, the center front, is at the point that is on a fold. So just place it like that, and ensure that you have a little bit of spacing around it because we're going to be leaving about 1/2 inches allowance for joining and for sewing. So we're just going to cut this out, leave about 1/2 inches allowance around it. After cutting it out, I'm just going to notch the midpoint that I have there, notch it like this, and then we're going to open this up. But before we open it up, I'm just going to mark out that point that will be going upwards. That's the side that will be for the top neck. So just where I labeled it, use your chalk to mark that point so that you don't make a mistake, because most people will miss this up. So we're just going to open it up like this and open up the other part too. So this is what we have. We're going to place it on the right side facing each other, and we're going to stitch it round like this. Just stitch it round. So we're stitching the side that is upwards. This is what I have after I was done stitching it out. So you can go ahead and iron it. Then we're going to attach this to our neck. So just get your main fabric and place it on a fold like this so that you can get the midpoint, and then at the front we're going to notch that point, and then the notched point we're going to place the band to meet it, that point. So ensure that this fabric is at the wrong side. So we're going to start our stitch from the wrong side, and then we're going to finish it up at the front. So just pin the center and pin the other ends too, and we're going to give it a straight stitch with 1/2 of an inch on just one side. So I've gone ahead to stitch it from the back. This is what it's looking like. Then I'm going to finish my stitch at the front side so that it can come out neatly. Ensure that you pin it down. So look at the way I pinned it, so that it doesn't shake, because if you don't do this, your band is not going to be straight. So go ahead and pin it down, and then we're going to fold it. So this brings us to the end of this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. For the trouser, I dropped a tutorial on it, step by step, on how to achieve a corporate palazzo trouser. So if this looks like what you're interested in, I'll see you in my next video.